Hello, everybody. This is Myster Lemba. You're on the Myster Lemba channel, where grown men talk. Come on, all my brothers, let's gather around. It's time to talk. Today's knowledge that I'm going to drop is black men needs to stop being attack dogs. Black men need to stop being attack dogs. Now, many of you probably heard something along those lines before. You may not be sure what I mean by it, so let me clarify. You see, too many of our brothers are sitting in jail for reasons that should not even ever be entertained. Many of our brothers are sitting in jail for reasons that should not have ever been entertained. Now, we understand some drug selling. Not saying it's right, but we understand some drug selling. We know about the robberies. We know about the racial profilings. We understand about the false accusations. However, when brothers are in prison because they took another brother's life over a woman's emotional rant, that is unacceptable. So let me give you a scenario. Young brother sleeping with this girl. She ain't your official woman, or maybe she is. She bumps into a guy on the streets. They had a few words. It was nothing serious. She decides to smack him. She's under the impression that a man won't hit her back. Now this man, who do not know her, who feels he should not be hit, smacks her upside her head. So, what your woman does is, she goes out, she finds you, so you can come dish out some social vigilante type justice. You get into a scuffle with this man. You are her attack dog. You protect her. And you end up in jail for assault, disorderly conduct in a public place, unruly behavior, all types of charges that you probably could live without. Now, you can't get a good job. You have a record. You probably got to spend a few years in prison. Hopefully, it was something minor that you did and you got lesser charges and you can get out quickly. However, something's on your record. Too many times, these kind of things happen. Now, what I'm trying to teach you, brothers, is what we could have been doing is asking our women, do you always feel the need to escalate every situation? But the problem is, we brothers have been taught by our mothers to be attack dogs. We've been taught by women in our societies to be attack dogs. It doesn't matter what kind of trouble that this woman could have avoided. Instead, she deliberately walked into that trouble so you can go out and defend her. And you take that bait. That's something to let sink in. Now understand, if you're walking with a young woman, she's with you, and she suddenly comes under attack by this crazy person on the streets, it makes good sense that you take whatever consequences is necessary to help her out. The same way you probably would ride or die for your boys. But that person needs to deserve the defending that you're bringing. If someone flip her off and she smacks that man, and that man says, you know what, I'ma smack you back, it's her fight. She needs to think about you, because she could have easily called the cops. She could have easily got a picture of this man and called the police officer. She could have walked away without putting her hands on him first. But you are the attack dog. See, the problem is, in our community, most of us brothers are raised with our fathers. So our mother turned the young men into these combat defensive soldiers that defends her. No matter how unruly our mother behaves sometimes. Don't get me wrong. You love your mother, that's fine. That does not mean she is without fault. If she walks into a fast food restaurant and just because they gave her the wrong order, she sling the food across the room, makes a mess, gets loud, manager comes forward, try to calm her down, and they have to get some kind of security or law enforcement to get her out. Your mother is the definition of what you call the ghetto, unruly, angry black woman. And you, since you love her, you have become accustomed to defending that. So when you meet a woman in your life, what you do is, if she behaves in the same unruly manner, you go ahead and you defend that anyway, even if it means that you will be in jail. Sometimes you see a woman in the streets that you don't know. She's in a fight with her man or some guy. You don't know what this woman did to get herself in a physical confrontation with a man in a public display. In a country or westernized type society where hitting a woman is completely unacceptable. Whether or not that's right or wrong, that philosophy, but it is what it is. It's completely unacceptable. But yet this man felt brave enough to get into this physical confrontation with this woman. And what do? Captain Super Simp. You put on your cape. You jump out that phone booth. You run to the rescue. You start shouting. You start yelling. You start charging towards that man who's fighting this woman. Now, in a world where women are completely innocent human beings and they do not initiate confrontation, your actions are completely understandable. You could have also called the cops. However, that is not what you did. You got verbal and you got physical. Now, this man either start hitting you, and the majority of the time, the woman you ran in there to defend starts hitting you too. Because she's not leaving that man no matter what. Things things may even get worse. You may get harmed, and the police may come. You may get charged. Sometimes these women lie and say you were the one that attacked her. That's why she's bruised. Her man was defending her, and that's how the confrontation happened. Now you got a record. You can't get a good job. You're not well respected in society whenever they pull up your record because of your Captain Super Simp behavior. Captain Attack Dog. Now, you are the same man who remembers how a woman wrongfully called the cops on you. You remember how you've been attacked yourself by a sister. Even though you did not put your hands on her, she put her hands on you. You remember if you even block her hits too hard and she gets injured, how you will be the one to face consequences. But for some odd reason, even with your experience and your knowledge about how these sisters behave, women in general, but we're talking about our people, how these sisters behave in the Western world and westernized countries, even though you know this, you, my brothers, are still going out there and fighting strange men over these women. Either you know the woman or you don't. You don't care if she started it or not. You are in there fighting. Sometimes you get shot. We've seen brothers lose their lives. Some of them, by going to prison, ruin their lives. Some of them get killed and lose their lives because you were trying to be what society is telling you to be. Meanwhile, society is not telling you the consequences. Society is not telling you the consequences of your so-called heroic actions, aka attack dogs. But Myster Lemba, I am here to teach you and to speak to you and give you a different mindset to protect you. If you know my channel, I say it all the time. It's about elevating the black man. Every other man could jump on here and listen up and learn from this. Black women could jump in here and learn from this and stop initiating physical attack with people. Same thing goes for other races of women. But my target is the black man. I'm speaking to you directly. Don't ruin your lives. We need each other. And we need you strong, without criminal records, and we need you alive. Black men need to stop being attack dogs, especially for black women. Because our women understand very well what we face out there in these very racist worlds. But yet they are the main ones that put, and I hate this word but I'm going to use it, niggas in jail. Oh, I ain't going to jail for you, homegirl. You started that junk, go ahead and finish it. Don't smack nobody so I could go get in a fight. No, you smack them, hope you don't get smacked back. You get smacked back, you handle that. Don't initiate trouble. With that said, I'm Myster Lemba. Stop being the attack dogs, my brothers. With much love, peace,